Oh, hang on.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to be taking a trip down memory lane for me, and we are going to be watching Top Gear. Now, if you've never heard of Top Gear before, it was a super duper popular show, and it was pretty much about three guys reviewing and destroying cars. And today we are specifically going to be looking at van conversions they've done throughout the years, and kind of questioning whether or not they ever had a hope or chance at having a good night's rest in these conversions. So let's have a look at what we've got.
You wouldn't like to go in Hammonds because that's stupid.
Jeremy, can I just say, this is the biggest entertainment I've had on a road journey in my whole life. It's absolutely hilarious.
It wasn't.
Oh my god, okay, so James May is such an underrated character, and I actually really appreciate him these days. But before I divulge myself into my love for James May, can we just take a hot moment to look at what Jeremy chose to do? He pretty much decided to put a 3-story building on the back of his... I don't even know what kind of car that is, to be honest with you. It's an older big... Like, if you were expecting me to know anything about cars... Nah, I don't know shit about cars. I do know a little bit about vans because I have one, but... And van conversions only because I'm an interior designer by trade. Don't know nothing about cars. But even with my literal knowledge of architecture and car design, Jeremy's isn't very functional. Oh, here we go.
Amazingly,
Nice.
the convoy did keep going until eventually we pulled in for a fuel stop.
Okay, now this is a bit of a faff. Ow. Oh.
Hammond?
Yes!
I may have made a mistake.
Where?
Well, I added this escape chute so that I can go from my aeroplane fuselage into the back seat of the car.
Yes.
Which is here. It's very good. But I've covered up the filler flap.
He covered up the fuel cap. And I mean, like, even just from the basic sort of, you know, functionality perspective, he's actually looked probably the best, like most quirkiest and definitely unique design. But if you cover up the fuel cap, you're not going to get very far. So, oh my god. Hammond's actually looks really cute. It looks like a little cottage. It looks really fun. The little glimpse that you get on the inside doesn't look very homey, but you know, I could be wrong.
Fuel filler cap where you need to sort.
It's very secure.
Refueling over, we headed on our way.
Refueling, man.
And several perilous miles later, we finally...
Even just like not even thinking about like the terrible design, how in the world are these guys allowed to drive these vehicles out in public roads? Because like they... Like, that thing was going to fly over. Like, it was going to go ahead and do a 360 somersault or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm sure Hammond's going to take a while to actually build this. But this was actually the real reason as to why I really like the idea of van life and just like the general idea of it, because I actually don't mind camping, but I vehemently, I hate setting up a tent. Absolutely hate it. Like, it's like the worst thing to me. Like, I could happily go ahead and camp in a tent. I could happily camp for a week, but setting up the tent, no thank you. Not my thing. And that was part of the reason why I actually kind of considered van life when I wanted to travel, and when I had my van I was like, hey, I could live in that. But if I had to set up, nah, no thank you. May looks like he had it all planned. He was just like, yep, nope, already done. Whereas Hammond's like, yep, okay, now time to set up my IKEA, and he's gonna take 4 hours, I'm sure of it.
Ow! Brave.
Want some help?
Nope. Don't need to make a one-man job, this.
Having got the block of flats going again, Jeremy eventually joined us.
This is gripping.
Ah!
What are you doing? It's
Finishing
unclear.
touches.
In Hammond's head, his build was coming along nicely. But it wasn't.
No.
When we got back from the pub, Hammond was still going.
Is this his motorhome?
I don't believe that.
That is outrageous.
Come in, dude, come in. This is the bed.
I'm sorry, but that bed does not look comfortable at all.
That can
Sorry.
I'll give you a quick squiz round if you like.
Yeah, sure.
This is the library here. Then, thank you.
So you've got a library?
Library. This is the dining room.
Goes on, look
Waiting
at that.
dining room furniture.
Bloody
In
Lord.
here, this. Oh, mind that. Yeah.
Sorry.
You can definitely tell Hammond did this for his height and not for the other blokes because he's already lost half his ceiling.
What's in here?
That's huge. Actually, that's bedroom. That's a child's bedroom.
That is wild. Okay, so let's just quickly break this down. May's we didn't see, aside from the fact that he covered his fuel pump because he didn't have any forethought. Hammond's is literally just flat pack IKEA and will not last the night. And Clarkson decided to do like an apartment building, but for himself, which is very on brand for him. But he's got a hammock in there. You'd think by the point of having those 3 stories, like, did he just want extra headroom? Because, like, I don't think he thinks he's that tall, surely. All right. Interesting, but let's move on to the next one. This is just amazing. It gives me, like, nostalgia, like hardcore nostalgia.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Let me finish. I haven't said tents. We've all 3 got estate cars, yeah?
Yes.
Why don't we sleep in the cars? Come on. It's like camping, but it's not camping because there's no tents.
No, you're right. It's a good idea. But don't do that. Come on, as if we're supposed to go. Hammond, you're brilliant. You've just about redeemed yourself with quite a good idea.
He hasn't redeemed himself. And this is where you brought me for breakfast. No breakfast then, obviously, because Christ the King, as it turns out, is shut.
Yeah.
It's weird, as Christ the King hasn't risen yet. That's the problem.
I just love how they, like, throw shit at each other. It's just so entertaining. Like, even as a kid, like, I didn't understand anything about the cars. I still pretty much don't. But just seeing how the banter kind of worked between the 3 of them, I just absolutely adored it even then. Like, I remember, like, I'd wait for my little sister to fall asleep at night, and then I'd sneak out of our bedroom, because we shared a bedroom at the time, and then I would watch Top Gear with Dad, and that was always the best bit, was just watching cars crash and burn, or just having them pick on each other.
Sorry.
Love the little montage. Is that puffin?
Yes.
Gentlemen, behold the future of exploring. I've given
Okay,
this some
Hammond
thought.
first.
The mouse cage.
No. Look.
Wow.
Let me talk you through it. I'm just going to climb into the sitting area at the back. But it's not just a sitting area. Note the footwell for the feet, you see?
Oh, where the spare wheel was?
Yeah. It's the
Where's
spare-
that now?
Oh, it's gone. There's a bin in here. But you can't fail to notice the kitchen. Mm-hmm. Burners, gas, taps, running water, cold and cold.
Cold.
These work.
Yes.
So you've got
they
a
do.
gas bottle in here?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Under storage there, cupboard full of useful things for me. Along here, everything I need for cooking, eating, it's all, that's...
And where do you sleep?
There. There's the bed. You see? Look, let me get out. So
Leopard skin sheets.
we are in Africa.
Okay, let's just, like, break down Hammond's one, because it actually, like, if you were to post that on the internet and say it was a car conversion... One moment. Apparently my name's Barbara now. Nice. Okay, before I was rudely interrupted, let's quickly chat about Hammond's conversion, because the thing is, if he had gone ahead and if he was a normal Joe and he went ahead and posted that onto YouTube and said it was a car conversion and he was living out of his car, he'd get like 1 million views. Like, that actually looks all right, and especially for his height and size, like, that actually is a pretty reasonable space. Like, the only thing which I know there's going to be issues with later is when he goes ahead and just drives and all of his, like, cutlery and stuff will fly everywhere, but overall it's actually a pretty good layout. Like, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. Usually, like, I know that most of the time they on purpose to a certain degree, don't do a good job. But I actually think he did a pretty good job in this scenario, so good on Hammond.
You will see a gentleman explorer's quarters. It's got a globe, it's got a telescope, it's got maps, it's got music.
It's a library, James.
Yeah, look at the range of
Things
books.
you don't need when you're looking for the source of the Nile. Number one, library.
Yes.
And I'm guessing in the back some kind of dungeon.
Whoa!
That's not a dungeon, is it?
It's living quarters combined with a workshop.
I'm genuinely astonished.
Would you like me to run through what's in there?
Not really. May I just sneak in? Do you mind?
Yes.
That doesn't look terribly comfortable.
It's been good enough for the army for several hundred years.
And this will just make you itch.
It's an itchy blanket. It's designed
So
to
you
remind you how lucky you are.
So you can cook food for us. You can mend mechanical things that go wrong.
Keep us
All right,
going.
what have you done?
What have I done?
Yes.
You might want to come and have a look.
Okay, so Maze is actually pretty interesting as well. Obviously, he's kind of catered it to himself, but I've seen some really wacky, like, van conversions and stuff. Like, I've seen, like, there was this woman that had actually put, like, a little snake enclosure for a pet snake, and for him, he's decided to just literally fill it up with all of his mechanical stuff and to literally make a workshop. Like, that is actually super useful. I'm pleasantly surprised by his as well. Like, obviously, the sleeping quarters don't look all that comfy. Honestly, they remind me of mine because mine is literally just like a raised bed as well. And then I did under bed storage. So a bit similar in that sort of... I honestly, I was expecting this to go way worse. I was expecting there to be a tent on top of like the back of a Land Cruiser or something like that. And that would be it. And it would be a broken tent as well. Like, or they'd forget to take it down. That's what my expectation was coming into this. I am actually pleasantly surprised by how good this is. That you could actually live out of. Like, albeit you probably need like some form of cooking. But as they said, you know, Hammond will be the one that cooks everyone eggs in the morning. He can fix everyone's cars. Let's have a look and see what Jeremy has done.
And there you are. What I've done is I filled it with Egyptian cotton and duck down.
Is that a coffin?
Yeah. Who knew a
Oh, it
coffin
is.
was dual purpose? But it is. It could be used for bodies,
Oh my
or
God, he actually used
I've
the
used it as a
coffin.
chest of drawers. Washing things, clean clothes, dirty clothes and shoes.
Can I just say, it's all very nice, but you haven't sort of considered your colleagues' needs.
Well, there are two features on this car that you might be interested in. In the front, gentlemen, we find here, instead of a passenger seat,
Oh, so you have thought of sustenance.
Oh,
a
that's
fridge
good.
full of
That's
beer.
good.
and it runs off the cigarette lighter in the car.
That's a tradable commodity you've got there.
It is. But something even more useful than beer, no, actually, no, nearly as useful as beer is what I've fitted over here. A shower, and if we peel back the curtain...
Oh, it's a complete bathroom in there.
Oh, yeah. So, you lower this window...
Well, it lowers it automatically. It's not
No,
going.
hang on. Yes, it does, but...
It's not going.
Yes,
But
I
it's
know. Well,
very-
the battery's somehow gone flat. I suspect the fridge is drawing quite a lot of power. Can I have a jump?
Okay, so I feel like he has definitely improved since our last video. I do, however, feel like because of all of the white Egyptian cotton, that is not going to be white by the end of this journey. And it kind of gives me the same sort of vibe as, like, for whatever reason, it's got in my head, like, Shrek and Princess Fiona's, like, room in the tower. Like, I for whatever reason, I've got it in my head that she had a lot of white everywhere, like the sheer white curtains and all that. Like, it's just very one-dimensional, very insane asylum sort of vibes. Crazy. Sorry, joke. You know what? I'm actually really surprised with Clarkson. You know, he always has to put something that's a little bit odd in his spaces, and the use of the coffin, although probably a little bit morbid, is actually pretty useful. I'm pleasantly surprised. The loo, you just go ahead and use a shovel. You don't need to sit down properly, but at their age, maybe I'll have a different tune.
Beautiful, in fact. We decided to stop on its shoreline for a night in our new
Yes, let's see
accommodation.
how it worked.
Right, let's pitch the tents. Done.
Same.
Beer? It's already chilled.
That would be lovely. I'll put dinner on.
Oh, God.
What?
Oh, my bed's gone out of alignment.
Oh, you've got problems.
There you go.
Well, what's your problem?
Nothing.
What now?
was
What's your
my issue.
problem?
Nothing.
So
I think
is
the
there
chair,
anything
the fringe is just slightly...
What is your problem?
Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
got it.
It is every single thing.
I'm just
It's
going to
Hammond's
tidy up.
kitchen nightmare.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Yeah, I could have called that from a mile away. That's actually hilarious. Oh my gosh. Funnily though, with May, that is exactly the issue that I have with my current van setup. Unfortunately, Murray, if you haven't been on this channel before, my van is a 2001 Mitsubishi Express. His name's Murray, and unfortunately he has cacked it currently. He is currently in a coma. His guts are all out on the grass in front of the house, and we're trying to fix him. Unfortunately, it seems like the fuel injector or the fuel pump decided to cack it one day. So send your love and regards to Murray in the comments below. But I really understand May's dilemma there, because like I'd be like, oh,
No. Anyway.
and just like move the bed back to where it needed to go. Let's just watch one more. Now, this one I did hear is a little bit different because they decided to use lorries instead of cars. So in theory, they should be better because, you know, there's already 3 walls. So let's see what they did.
Every modification I've made is inspired by my desire not to run over any of the locals. So it
Same.
has, for example, Buddha looking down, a lucky elephant, the lucky owl, which is very important. It has better mirrors, better lights, and it's wearing a high visibility jacket.
Yes, that's a you. What is the boiler in the back?
Are you
That-
brewing beer?
But no, sadly, it's the water tank for the brake cooling system.
What, like racing lorries have?
Exactly like that. It sprays, I've got a little switch in the cab, it sprays water on the drums, makes them more efficient downhill.
I didn't think of that. Why would you not have a convertible lorry?
This is raining.
Look at it!
It's quite good, actually.
It's very good. Shelby striping,
Yeah.
sports badging on the side, living accommodation at the back. This is fashioned from lead and rhodium.
Is it?
Yes, for extra weight to improve my ride. Come back. Simple, crisp accommodation inside, Shelby bedding, and ebony wood floor for more weight.
Oh.
Come on.
It looks brilliant.
Yeah. Okay, so to start, we didn't even see what May's living quarters looked like. You just got an aircon and everything possible to make it as obvious as possible. With Clarkson's, it actually looks awesome. Like, I would happily like stay in an Airbnb like that. Like, it actually looks like there won't be too much like damage. You'll be able to sleep there comfortably, no bugs. I mean, maybe you'll get too hot or too cold potentially just because of the lorry's metal, the lead and stuff, but it looks okay to me. I probably would spend $100 of that on Airbnb.
What I have here, this is the bathroom area,
Yeah.
shower.
It's got a shower.
Where's the water come from? Ha ha!
Haha, yourself, there is up the top a reservoir, about so big, on my viewing gallery. Goes to the
Hammond, it's a
platform.
bucket.
It's
It's a bucket.
It's a remote reservoir. And that is right now collecting beautiful, crisp, clean, fresh, invigorating rainwater. This is the kitchen area with lino to reflect that.
What's that?
Over there is a wardrobe. There is a hammock with mosquito net built in. Drinks globe on the right.
It's rustic.
And Hammond wasn't finished.
From up here, on a sunny evening, I can sit here as the sun goes down, gaze at the stars and enjoy a drink from my drinks globe.
Do you take visitors?
Yeah.
I think he's going to have to because something's just occurred to me.
What?
You haven't got any living accommodation.
That's a very good point. Why have you forgotten it, you idiot?
No, I haven't.
No.
Well, you have.
Gosh, that.
Oh, this feels better already. Oh, hang on.
Richard Hammond is doing a remake of the Poseidon Adventure.
What we just witnessed was the downfall of van conversions. What? So the only one that kind of actually made sense was Clarkson's. It actually looked alright. Hammond's just wasn't going to work to begin with just because of the tarp, especially with that wet weather. And May did pretty much only safety stuff, which fair enough. I mean, I actually really appreciate May these days. Like, I know when I was younger, I always was like, why is May on the show? Like, there's no point to him. He's so embarrassing. Like, I actually genuinely thought of him as like that dad that had the weirdest like hobbies, and then like if you invited your friends over, you'd be like, Dad, please don't talk to them about artisan cheese.
Cheese.
But now I can really appreciate him because honestly, I get it. Like, I will be James May in about 40 years, so check back on me then. Or subscribe so then you can see the progression. Let me know if you would like to have a part 2 to reacting to Top Gear content, and I will see you in our next adventure.
Holidaying in England, even in a motorhome, does make sense. Is that all right? What?